Hello everyone, and welcome to the Room of Requirement. My name is Megan, and I have over 25 years of occult and esoteric practice and study, and today I'm going to be talking about transforming fear into power, a spiritual guide for personal empowerment. So fear is a huge thing. It really can block us on our spiritual journey and our path. If I hadn't embarked on my spiritual journey, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you right now recording myself and putting myself out there for the whole world to see. If you would have told me a few years ago I would have a YouTube channel, I'd be like, yeah, right. So my journey started out as professional tarot reader. I've never really talked about this before on my channel, and it scared the death out of me. I was just frozen in fear every time I thought about, putting myself out there and reading tarot for people. So that's how, this all started. I was a professional tarot reader, did that for a few years, then I started teaching classes publicly. I taught 2 classes every week, and I was deathly afraid of speaking in public. It would paralyze me. And so then after that, I decided I wanted to create a YouTube channel. I'm a mentor. I also have some students that I mentor regularly in my local area. And if you were to tell me I would have done any of that, I wouldn't have believed you at all if you would have told me that I would end up doing this and then putting myself out on the internet. And the reason why I'm able to do that now is because of my spiritual journey and all the spiritual practices that I do. Meditation, yoga, energy work, all of those things has given me the power to do what I'm supposed to do and do what I want to do. And fear was holding me back so much for so many years from being able to help people and help people heal and mentor people and create these videos to help teach people as much as I can. Because this is my true passion and this is what I really love to do, and it's what I'm really, really good at. So, thank you guys for subscribing, checking out the videos, all of this stuff. It means the world to me that you guys are even remotely interested in anything that I have to say. And I just wanted to thank you guys, for even checking my videos out, checking my channel out, because, I really put myself out there and I've overcome my fear, and you can too. So I'm going to be talking about how you can go about doing that and how these spiritual practices can help you feel empowered and banish fear. Because once you step into your power and you just do something, even though it's super scary, the benefits outweigh any kind of fear that has been holding you back. You can step into this. I remember when I started practicing high magic, I noticed immediately within months that my confidence levels were through the roof. My meditation, the more I became aware of myself and my thoughts and how I was limiting myself and, not putting myself out there, was really damaging to my confidence level. And, and that leans back to all of the trauma and everything that I have worked through that led to my low confidence level. So I'm just a living proof that it can be done, and that if you just put yourself out there, you really can, do great things if you'll let yourself. And so I just slowly over time started just stepping out of the fear and into empowerment. And it's done nothing but great things for me. And I really want that for you guys. So hopefully this will help. Okay. So embracing enlightenment. Enlightenment, transforming fear into personal empowerment through spiritual practices. As we traverse our spiritual path, we often encounter fear, an emotion that can hinder our growth and potential. However, through enlightenment or awakening, we can learn to banish fear and step into our personal power. We will explore how awareness, psychological development, mindfulness, and practices like meditation, energy work, and yoga can aid this transformative journey. Understanding fear and empowerment. Fear is a natural human emotion that serves as a survival mechanism. However, when left unchecked, it can become paralyzing and limit our potential. Empowerment, on the other hand, in the state of being confident and in control of one's life, it involves realizing your inner strength and the ability to make choices that align with our true selves. Fear is an ancient primal response embedded deep within us, designed to keep us alive. In moments of physical danger, it kicks in. It sharpens our senses and propels us to fight or flee. But beyond its life-saving utility, fear has another, more elusive role. It holds a key to our spiritual awakening. Yet fear in its many forms can block our path, keeping us trapped in cycles of worry, self-doubt, and avoidance. Understanding how fear manifests is essential to unlocking the hallways of our consciousness, where powerful emotions lie dormant, waiting to be acknowledged. The many faces of fear. Fear shows up in our lives in ways that go beyond mere survival instincts. Often it hides behind layers of emotion like anxiety, dread, or insecurity, quietly dictating our decisions and actions. It's fear that tells us to shrink, to play small, to stick to what we know instead of stepping into the unknown. It clouds our inner vision, making it difficult to connect with our higher selves or embrace our spiritual growth. At times, fear isn't about immediate threats. It can be inherited, passed down from generations, shaped by past traumas, or even carried from past lifetimes. These inherited fears may stem from long-forgotten memories or karmic imprints, subtly influencing how we move through the world today. While some fears are easy to recognize, others sit beneath the surface, subtly guiding our decisions even without us even realizing. Fear is a spiritual roadblock. From a spiritual standpoint, fear can block us from progressing. It acts like an internal dam, preventing us from accessing the deeper realms of consciousness where our higher truths lie. Think of fear as a hallway, where every door represents an opportunity to heal, to grow, and to expand. But as long as we remain gripped by fear, these doors stay closed and we become stuck in a single narrow corridor of life. Fear of failure. For example, fear of failure can keep us from exploring new opportunities or starting on a spiritual path. Fear of rejection holds us back from forming meaningful connections with others. Even the fear of our own potential, of being truly seen, heard, and understood, can keep us small and stagnant, stifling our spiritual progress. But fear isn't just an obstacle, it's also a doorway. When we confront and embrace it, we unlock access to emotional and spiritual layers that lie just beyond. Inside this, fear exists more than just dread or discomfort. There's wisdom, healing, and the chance for release. So I had a YouTube channel before this that I completely deleted. It took me 2 years to get as many subscribers as I have today. And so it took me, it was about 2.5 years, and I barely had as many subscribers as I have today. And I gave up. I was like, this isn't working. Nobody's really interested. That channel was geared towards more occult type things, and it had a little bit of conspiracy type things to it. And one day I was like, this isn't working. I've completely failed. This, nobody cares. This isn't going where I wanted it to go. I started it for all the wrong reasons, and I decided, you know what, I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm not going to give in to my fear that nobody cares, nobody likes me, nobody wants to watch my content. And I was just like, I'm going to start fresh with a whole new perspective. And when I did that, it's only been a couple of months, and I've got as many subscribers as I had in my last YouTube channel. So that tells me that my stuff is valid, and that when I stepped out of my fear and into empowerment, I decided I was going to do this completely differently. And it's more successful than I thought it would ever be. And it really surprised me. And I did that by stepping out of my fear. So, it's just something that I knew that I had to do. And I'm so grateful that it's doing as well as it is. And I just, really appreciate you guys for even caring and sticking around and checking out my channel. I'm blown away by how well it's doing. So I just wanted to add that as an example. The substrate of fear, a path to emotional release. Fear is not just an isolated emotion, it's a substrate, a fertile ground where many other emotions are stored. Beneath the surface of fear, there are often unresolved feelings of grief, anger, shame, and sadness. These emotions become embedded within us, waiting for the right trigger to emerge. Fear opens the door for these emotions to rise to the surface, giving us the opportunity to release them. So for the longest time, I didn't even want to mention that I had another channel and tell you guys what, what I did for, my other job. Before I started doing this, I was doing I call it my non-muckle job, which was, reading tarot, teaching, and mentoring. I did that part-time while I was doing my full-time job. I worked for a corporate 500 company, a Fortune 500 company. I was in management and I was making a lot of money. And once I got there, I was like, this is not what I thought it was. And I spent my whole life trying to get in corporate management, and I finally got it. And I was like, this is nothing like I thought it was going to be. And it wasn't fulfilling at all. So I had my side job that I was doing, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take this leap of faith. This is so scary. I don't know how I'm going to support myself. All I know is that I have to make a change because I'm not happy doing what I'm doing. And once I did it, it was rough, and it still is rough, but I would not trade it for anything. And if I hadn't stepped out of my fear and into what I'm doing now, I would be completely unhappy. And that's scary for a lot of people to do. And I waited years to do it. I waited 6 years to do it. And once I did it, I couldn't be happier. Like I wake up every day and I have the freedom to do, whatever I want to do. And I really can dive into my spiritual practices and my routines a lot more. But once I did that, it just, more doors of opportunity just continued to open up for me. And I want to tell you guys that it's completely possible. I've read for hundreds and hundreds of clients, and a lot of them were just so scared because I specialize in career and spiritual paths when I read. A lot of them were just so scared to take those leaps of faith. And I would always get so excited when I would tell them that I would do it, that I did it, and that it's not so bad. And, great things can happen if you'll just stop, feeling like you're making a mistake. And because there are unresolved feelings, like I said, grief, anger, shame, sadness, uncertainty, all of those things that are underneath all the fear that stops us from doing things. And once I did it, it was just like this weight was lifted off of me. And I just completely stepped into empowerment, and it was the best feeling I've ever felt. And I want other people to feel that too. Okay, so picture a hallway in your mind, lined with doors. Behind each door, there's fragments of past memories where fear has played a role. Some of these memories are clear and easily remembered, while others are so deeply buried they seem distant and vague. But the moment fear shows up, the doors start to open, bringing forth not just the memory of fear, but every emotion that came with it, helplessness, sadness, or even regret. When we face fear, we're not just confronting the immediate emotion, we're also offered a chance to release the entire emotional tapestry that's been stored along with it. Turning fear into a catalyst for growth. While fear can be debilitating, it also has the power to initiate profound spiritual growth. When we experience fear, we often feel a visceral tightening or constriction. The physical sensation is a signal, an opportunity to look deeper. Rather than running from fear, we can turn toward it, asking, what is this fear trying to show me? So I'm scared now, like nervous now, just telling you guys about my past and how I got here, because I initially didn't want to say all those things because I didn't want to be viewed in a certain way. And it took me a while to do this video because I was like, you know what? I need to be authentic. I need to just be myself and tell everybody, where I came from and how I got here, so that I can hopefully be an inspiration for other people to do the things that they want to do and not have a bunch of regrets at the end of their life because, they spent their whole life doing what they didn't want to do. And so I struggled with this, and I just, I decided, you know what, I need to just step out of this fear and not be scared of what people are going to think and just be authentically me. And when I decided to do that, I was like, you know what, I'm scared to death to put myself even more out there like that and tell everybody. But as I'm sitting here telling you guys this, like I'm almost in tears because I would have never thought that I would go and do that. I'm a very private person and I usually don't tell people a whole lot. I just want to help, and I want to help heal people, and I want to help teach people, and I want to help, guide people along on their path, because I didn't have anybody, doing that for me. And so I want to be that for everyone else. So basically, that's another thing. Like, I'm literally sitting here shaking, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to show you like that you can do these things. And hopefully this really hits home. If this just changes one person's life, I'm going to be completely happy. So anyway, so when we lean into our fears rather than running away, we begin to see fear as a form of spiritual resistance that holds valuable lessons. Much like resistance in physical exercise strengthens muscles, resistance in spiritual practice strengthens the soul. By identifying the root of our fears, we start to dismantle the barriers that block our personal growth and soul ascension. Walking through the doorways of fear. Each time fear arises, it offers a chance to pause, breathe, and walk through the doorway it opens. On the other side of fear, there is clarity, freedom, and expansion. But to reach the other side, we must be willing to face the discomfort head on. This isn't easy, and it isn't always immediate, but with patience, self-compassion, and the right tools, we can transform fear into a catalyst for growth. Journey of self-discovery. As you continue on your journey of self-discovery, remember that fear isn't something to be ashamed of or avoided. Instead, it's a signpost, pointing you to areas of your life where there's room for growth, healing, and spiritual evolution. Walk the hallway of fear, open the doors, and see what lies on the other side. You may be surprised by the liberation that awaits. The role of awareness in psychological development. Awareness is the foundation of enlightenment. By becoming aware of our thoughts and emotions, we can identify the fears that hold us back. Psychological development involves understanding the roots of the fears and reprogramming our subconscious mind. Self-reflection. Regular introspection helps us recognize patterns of fear and insecurity. Journaling, writing about our fears, can bring clarity and insight into their origins. Shadow work. Diving into shadow work and the subconscious are paramount. Getting rid of bad programming and conditioning is key. Mindfulness, the art of being present. Mindfulness is a practice of being fully present in the moment. By focusing on the present, we can reduce the power of fear, which often stems from past experiences or future anxieties. Mindfulness helps to recognize triggers. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we can identify what triggers our fear. Develop resilience. Mindfulness fosters a calm and centered mindset, making us less reactive to fear. Meditation, a pathway to inner peace. Meditation is a powerful tool for calming the mind and connecting with our inner self. It allows us to observe our fears without becoming overwhelmed by them. Regular meditation practice can lead to increased self-awareness. By sitting in stillness, we can gain insights into our fears and learn to detach from them. Emotional balance. Meditation helps regulate emotions, reducing the intensity of fear. And this absolutely does. I've noticed a huge difference when I get nervous or I'm scared about something because of my spiritual practice. I'm able to self-regulate a lot faster than I used to be able to. So that's why I'm talking about all these different things and why your spiritual routines and practices are so important when you're trying to step into your power and out of fear. It really helps you emotionally regulate. So like now my nerves are starting to calm down. And this whole time I've been sitting here thinking about how, okay, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. And eventually you'll get to a point where you get into your practice so deeply that these things won't affect you as much as they used to, and they won't last as long. Okay, energy work, harnessing the power within. Energy work involves practices that balance and align our body's energy systems, promoting healing and empowerment. Techniques such as Reiki, chakra balancing, and energy healing can release blockages. Fear often creates energetic blockages. Energy work can dissolve these blockages, allowing for free flow of energy. So I have a video on energy work. I have videos on meditation. I have videos on breath work, visualization, yoga practice. All of these things are going to help regulate your body so that you can face fear in a completely different way. It enhances vitality. By balancing your energy, we feel more vibrant and empowered. Yoga, integrating mind, body, and spirit. Yoga is a holistic practice that integrates physical postures, breath control, and meditation. It helps in building strength, flexibility, and mental clarity. Through yoga, we can ground ourselves. Physical postures help ground us in our bodies, reducing anxiety and fear. It cultivates inner strength. The discipline of the yoga fosters resilience and inner strength, enabling us to face fears with confidence. And stretching those muscles really gets that stuff out, especially a lot of hip work. We store a lot of emotional trauma and fear in our guts and all of those things. So we also store it in our shoulders. So when we're stretching our muscles out, we're actually releasing these things. So if you've ever done exercise and you shake while you're doing it, you're actually releasing the energy and the pent-up trauma and emotions in your body. So that's why I do yoga every single day, meditation every single day, and qigong every single day. And it really helps. I used to be a dumpster fire on wheels, believe it or not. In my early 20s, I was a complete and utter mess. I was wrought with anxiety, and I was tired of suffering. And so I decided I'm going to fix this. And through years and years of doing it, huge difference, okay? I wouldn't be sitting in front of you right now, talking to you, putting this out to the world if I was still like that. There's no way. Stepping into personal power. Transforming fear into empowerment is an ongoing journey. By integrating these practices into our daily lives, we can step into our personal power. Set intentions. Clearly define your goals and intentions for empowerment. Create a routine. Establish a daily routine that includes mindfulness, meditation, energy work, and yoga. Seek support. Join communities or seek guidance from spiritual mentors to support your journey. The power of surrender. Among the many lessons learned on your spiritual path, the power of surrender stands out. When you release the need for control and allow life to unfold as it will, you open yourself up to endless possibilities. Surrendering means trusting the process, letting go of resistance, and fully accepting the present moment. In this practice, you cultivate a deeper sense of peace and connectedness, which can significantly diminish feelings of fear and anxiety. Common fears among spiritual seekers. Fear of the unknown is a frequent companion for many on the spiritual path. You might also fear judgment from others, the loss of your current identity, or even a feeling of isolation as you research deeper into your beliefs. These fears commonly arise as you challenge the norms and structures that have shaped your life until now. Even as you confront these fears, it is important to realize that they are often magnified by your thoughts and perceptions. Engaging with these common fears can lead you to new levels of understanding about yourself. Instead of letting them deter you, use them as points of reflection. By facing your fears like unworthiness or fear of change, you can cultivate resilience and clarity, ultimately preparing your spiritual journey forward. So a lot of people are scared of the unknown. They're scared of what they do not know. And they're scared to wake up, and they're scared to change their habits. And then you get on a path, and then things start to change, and then you fear, how your family's going to feel about you, or your friends, or your coworkers, what they're going to think. And it's like, I was always known as the weird one in the office because I read tarot for a living, and they knew I did, and they knew I was into teaching, and I was a paranormal investigator, and I was into all of these things in the occult realm. And I was kind of like the ousted, weirdo in the office, and everybody kind of knew, but I didn't care, right? I was authentically being myself. And so you're going to reach periods on your path where you're going to be scared to move forward. You might have an experience that completely scares the crap out of you, and then you don't want to do it again. I've been there, right? And so fear is you're going to face different levels of it through your path, and even before you start, because it's scary when you start to wake up and you don't understand like what's happening to you, and then you get to a certain level and you're awakening, and then you have periods where you're like, what's the point, right? And then that's scary. So there's just lots of different avenues that you go down, and roller coasters that you ride, and all of these different things when you're on your spiritual path that are scary. And so I just wanted to mention that as well. So in conclusion, the journey from fear to empowerment is a transformative process that requires dedication and practice. By embracing awareness, psychological development, mindfulness, meditation, energy work, and yoga, we can overcome fear and step confidently into our personal power. This path not only leads to personal growth, but also inspires others to embark on their own journeys of empowerment. Okay, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this one. I hope that it helps at least one person to step out of their fear. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. If you have any questions, let me know. Just drop them in the comments. I've got some other stuff that I'm working on that I'm going to be posting pretty soon, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.